Okay, Wednesday morning in the kingdom, and I haven't heard from Johnny G because he was so busy yesterday because he had to catch up for Monday. Yes, so he got Monday off because there was no truck because the road washed out, so he had no freight to deliver. And then he had to work twice as hard on Tuesday. Yes, welcome to the end of the world. So this morning we woke up to +3, but feels like 0. But it's warmed up substantially since then. Ooh, substantially. You try and spell that one. All right, on the yo-yo scale, +38 Fahrenheit, but feels like +32. All right, so today we're going to do some overhead welding. Yes, welding overhead like this. We got to defy the gods of gravity to keep the weld to stay up there. Yes, so we'll have to drink beverage in our morning coffee so we have the flexibility. The no shakes or anything like that, so we're relaxed to overcome the gods of gravity. All right, let's scroll this way. The wind is starting already. Unfrickin' those wind generators. We got the sun used to be over there in December. Now it's over here. Look at that. There we go. There we go. Whoa, that's all right. We got some sunshine. The yard's drying up slowly. I think it's getting wind dried, not sun dried. Oh, well, these lips. All right, I should have had my coffee with some beverage this morning because I got a weld overhead. A little bit more, little bit more. And there's the 48 Chevy Sedan delivery. We've got to do a little maintenance on it before we go for a road trip. Yes, we're going to go for a road trip out west. Yes, out west. That's that way. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that way. All right. So today's going to be a good day, we hope. And let's see what we can do. Yesterday was a good day mounting those mirrors. Yes, I took my time. Lots of thought was required in beverage, and the mirrors turned out nice. But that was quality product. 50 years later, Grote has still kept a quality in their product. Oh, can't do an intro without a cough. If I don't cough, I'm dead. Oh, I better not say that. All right, let's get to work. We got things to do. Plus, here comes the boss.
Wednesday morning in WHO-ville. It's just after 10 a.m. and as you can see, it is pretty windy out here right now. It's so windy that I have to stand in the doorway of the house just to do my video so you guys don't hear all the background wind noise. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out. Then I can make breakfast at 2 p.m. I'll head up and do the mail, then go over to the kingdom.
Okay, another day of wind. I think I'm in Saskatchewan or Wyoming. It's unreal. Okay, so we got things laid out. I'm actually out here early because the computer pissed me off. I put some stuff in the cart at Princess Auto, and then it didn't like me. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. So I went to Best Buy, had the same problem. So I think the world's falling apart. All right, so I unboxed that complete hitch from the back in the day. So these are the pieces that I actually need right here, okay? And also, too, a 2-inch ball. Back in this hitch was brand spanking new, you were putting it on your 64 Bel Air, you had a 1 7/8 ball. So I don't know why they changed it out, because now it gets confusing, because if you put a 2-inch coupler on a 1 7/8 ball, guess what? It pops off when you hit a bump. Yes. And we're going to put the exhaust flex pipe on here. So Rodney convinced us to go to these wraparound clamps. All right, let's see if we can get down here. Oh, yes. We put the shop floor down so it's easy to lay on. All right, down here, I don't know if you can see that, Les Nessman. We have some blackness because we have the choke on most of the winter. Yeah, so we got that flex pipe to go in here and get rid of these squeeze clamps, because if you squeeze it, it squeezes it too hard, like over here. And also too, the Chevy trailer hitch thing back in the day, it clips onto here, it clamps onto here like clamping it on, and then it kind of hooked over the bumper here. Yeah, so we got to find something new and improved. But this vehicle is in good shape because it was in storage for 32 years, and we spent the money. New tires, new brakes, new everything. Yes, and that way we can cruise around. Also too, I'm not going to stand up, but seeing how it's a sedan delivery, okay, I learned this last night on Google or the internet. The sedan delivery has the door. I can't see anything. It's a reflection. So this bumper is not straight. It curves in, so you can reach into the vehicle a lot easier. And also too, they make trailer hitches that bolt onto this bolt here. Yeah, that's if the bolt was tight. But we're kind of learning. Never knew that the sedan delivery had a different bumper on the back, and that is all for easy access. All right, I'm gonna shut the camera off so I can stand up. Okay, let's try this from a standing up version of looking at the bumper. So see, the bumper curves in quite extensively. Yes, that's so you have access into the door, which only makes sense. There is a tray or tin pan that goes in here, but I removed it because it was bent or something. I forget what it was. I just removed it. So we took a lot of the parts off of this vehicle that are original because it had a sun visor on the front. We stripped it down. The chrome, everything like that is in trailer 7. So at my estate auction, when whoever buys the 48 sedan delivery gets all the extra parts to make it a classic. Pretty smart thinking. Okay, we're in the house. I want to show you how we can't really search anything anymore. So here we typed in 48 Chevy sedan delivery hitch mount, and it comes up with U-Haul, all this crap. It's just unreal. So let's do images. I am trying to do it with my wrong hand. There we go. So there's one picture of a 48 Chevy sedan delivery, and this one here, I think it is, but not quite, but it's unreal. So you got 3 pictures, that's it, and then it goes to everything but you ever wanted, it never got, you know. So then you go over here. Let's see. That's hard. All right, there's the factory. That's what we grew up with. That's what we remember. This bolts onto that cross member, and then this lips over the bumper, and that's the way it was done back in the day. Okay, but if I ordered this off of eBay, okay, and then I find out it's wrong because the bumper steps in or moves in for the back door of the sedan delivery. So that's a learning curve. That's why we, how would you say, we research and research and research some more, because we're actually saving money, plus we're learning. Okay, we're in the shop hiding out of the wind, and it's not that warm in the shop because we didn't have the heat on. Okay, so we have to use the ProPoint 38 Plus, and it's over there because I set everything up in the vise over here, and then I couldn't get the plasma cutter back over this side. So it's on my left side, whereas I'm a right-sided person. So it was great fun. All right, of course, the chrome piece here was too short, just like my honeymoon, too short. So the hard part of cutting 1/2-inch steel with the plasma cutter, okay, when you use a torch or oxyacetylene or propane and oxygen, you change out the tip to get the clearance to go down, right? So you're blowing a wider path. But the plasma cutter, it's a laser, so you can't go for a bigger laser width. So you have to give it a little jiggle. So it works out good if you're a professional drinker like me. You have the shakes in the morning, so you just kind of shake, 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 shake right along. And there we go. So that gives you the blow by. You got to see the sparks coming out the bottom. If they're not coming out the bottom, you got a problem. So that actually works out good. The older you get, the more shakes you have. But the thing is as long as it's blowing clear straight down, you're good to go. Now let's top this out, drill some holes, do some grinding, and then hopefully it'll fit. Most likely I cut it wrong. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and the plate that I cut out, yes, it buffed up pretty nice, but I was smart enough to use the factory cut edge there to make it look pretty, and then over here it's kind of cut. That'll be the hole to go through the cross member, just like in the original design. And then we have the bumper ball here, 2-inch, fits in a nice 3/4-inch hole. And my measurements, the blueprint, also 2. This is a fancy Reese hitch. I think this is the chrome side, but look at that. That's a nice hole, but it's tapered. It's like it's punched out. Yeah, I remember that from my, how'd you say, high school days working in a machine shop sort of thing. So that would have got loose. Up here we try and have a nice tight fit because there's so much jiggly wiggly. We want a nice tight fit. And then also over here, this is the factory thingy me bob that bolts on there for the chains. I think we can booger weld that on there and it'll look good, but it'll be facing down this way. So the chains, right? Also too, we've got the selection of drill bits out, and it's always the lube. Your Lloyd's lube makes even the crappiest drill bits cut. All right, let's go burn some lunch in the microwave. We're having a successful day, so we can have a beverage to celebrate.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to have lunch. This is what I'll be having today, Chef Boyardee beefaroni. It is actually pretty good and simple to make. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out. It is windy out there today, so I don't think we'll be doing much in the kingdom. 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 14 degrees Celsius, which is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. As you can see by my weather board, it is still pretty windy out here right now. I have to stand in the doorway to do all my videos today. Now let's head inside and wait for 2 p.m. so I can go up and do the mail.
Okay, 1:30 in the kingdom, and it's freaking windy out here. I don't know. It's just draining me out, this wind. It's just a constant struggle. At least we have some protection in the kingdom. All right, so we came out here. Oh, yes. Forgot to mention, everybody hates those chrome covers on the wheel nuts. I think Ford was popular for those. Well, guess what? They did that on the bumper bolt. Great fun to get it out, but we had the trusty 3-in-1 impact. Yes, just crank her and crank her good. Yes. All right, so we got the hitch bolted on. We did the welds inside the shop. Okay, I took the bolt out in case I put a little support here, but I want to put some angle iron behind. All right, get ready. I'm gonna lay down. Oh, sounds of the bedroom is me trying to lay flat. All right, so we marked the line over there where the exhaust pipe is. Where is it? It's over there somewhere. Yeah, where the stack goes up. Oh, there it is, right there. Got to focus. Yeah. So that's the exhaust stack. This wouldn't be a problem if it was a Southern car. They wouldn't have an exhaust stack. So I think we can run an angle iron across and then drop down for support here. But here we got the plate bolted on here and a plate on the top to give it the strength. It is fairly sturdy and everything like that. But we have to watch the back here where this bumper is, okay? Like in the old photos and everything like that, they're anchoring to the bumper, but there's no meat. Like it's just little thin meats or whatever. So we're going to have to address that problem because we live at the end of the world where the roads are so rough. All right, I'll stop the video so I can get up. Okay, it's pretty windy out there, so we're hiding in the shop. Yes, we're hiding in the shop. So we need some material or bracketries to support the bumper. Yes, the bumper, yes. Okay, so we got out the finest recycled material. I forget what it is. It's a skid plate or something. And we cut it out. But we also, too, we cut it out so it's a usable piece later. Look at that. Ooh, I'm Superman. All right, so there's our little template. I used the gray file folder and cut 2 of those out. And now we're going to have to buff grind them to make them fit. All right, let's get to work.
Almost 2 p.m. and I just got the quad out. Now I'll head up and check the mail, then go over to the Kingdom and see what my dad's doing today. Hopefully I can test out the new Not GoPro and see how that works. 2 p.m. and I made to the Kingdom. Looks like there was some stuff in the mail today. There was a total of 3 boxes. This was the first box. It is all of our Not GoPro accessories and stuff to go with it. We even got a carrying case, so now I'll be able to test out the Not GoPro today. Now let's open up the other 2 boxes. Just opened up the other 2 boxes. In the one box there was 2 headsets and some batteries. The other box had 2 external drives. One is for me, one is for my dad. Now I can test out these headsets here on my new phone. I think I'll start with this one. Got the first pair of headphones on. Today I will be testing out these ones, and then tomorrow I will test out the other set and we'll see which one is better. Now I'll head outside to where all the wind noise is and see how this headset does. Outside, I'm just testing out to see how much wind noise will be in the microphone. We won't know until the video gets loaded up on my dad's computer, and then we can listen to it. Now let's head over and see what my dad's doing today. Back in the house, I did one little test video with the new mic. We'll have to put the sock on it because it picks up a lot of background noise. Now I'm going to get on the quad and go around with the GoPro that is on my chest here. In the bush now down South Trail, not sure what this Not GoPro will pick up for sound, but here I am walking down the trail. I'll spin around a couple times and give you guys a look around. This is just on my chest here. As you can see, I'm hands-free, so that's pretty cool. Let's look around. Won't know how it sounds or looks until I get it on my Me phone and check it out. It is still pretty windy here right now. Down the South Trail, and I'm just checking out the new Not GoPro and seeing how it works. Also testing out the sound on the Me phone in the bush here because it is pretty windy out here right now. I put the headset back inside because I have to adjust it and put a little sock on it because it picks up a lot of wind noise. The new Not GoPro is actually pretty nice. Sits on my chest nicely and it doesn't move around very much. Now I'm going to walk around, do a few more videos with it. Just took the windshield off my quad. Now I'll hop back on and drive down the rest of the South Trail, and then I'll go around the Kingdom a few times, do a couple videos. I was able to look back on my Me phone and check out the not GoPro footage. You can actually hear me. With all this wind noise, you can still hear me pretty good compared to my Me phone, so this is nice. Now let's head around and go for a drive. Kind of show you guys how I start the quad here. You have your master switch, the battery is right up in front, then your lights come on the dash here, then you push the fancy button and it starts right up. Now let's go for a little ride. 3 p.m. and I'm back in the house. Hopefully the not GoPro footage turned out nice. I will find out when I get home and send my dad all the videos, and I can edit them and do a few other things, cut out all the stupid stuff that you guys don't want to see. Now I can head into the back room and put some reflective tape on the drone. Just got the reflective tape on the drone. We have a nice big roll of it, so I made sure to put lots on the drone here. That way if we lose it, at least we'll be able to find it. Now I can put our names on it, and then I'm going to head out to my garden bins and give them a fluff and get the soil moving. Almost 3:30 and I just fluffed up my garden bins. It is way too windy out here to show you guys, but they are still pretty frozen, so I'll wait a couple more days and fluff them up again. Now I'm officially done in the kingdom, so I'll grab my dog treats and head on back into WHO-ville and start looking at the not GoPro footage. 4:30 and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 19 degrees Celsius, which is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. As you can see, it is still pretty windy out there right now. I looked at my weather map and it says it's supposed to be windy for the next couple days. So let's head inside and let the dogs out. Then I can get supper ready and end my day.
Okay, 4:30 in the kingdom, and we had to do it. We had to get it done because we can't finish and, how would you say, weld it tomorrow. But what we did was use the Hobart Handler 100 with the gasless wire, gasless, so it worked out pretty good. I could stick it in here, I could do all my boogerness or whatever, the welds, and we got the little plate in here right there to hold the bumper thingy bob. Okay, so let's take a peek. Oh, this is the bad side. We'll go over here because I did that side first. This side turned out a lot better. So we got some little gussets. Can we see that, Les Netsman? We got some little gussets there. And then we MIG welded it first, and then we did the stick over top, so it worked out very well. Very pleased. So that takes the structural, I would say, bouncy on the bumper and putting it down to that cross member. So hopefully the back of the frame doesn't get ripped off. We have this angle iron going across. It's unreal how freaking windy it is. Unreal. But we had to get it done, because if we didn't get it done, we're not doing it tomorrow, because the boss is an asshole. So let's splash some paint on it and get this exhaust pipe back on so we can get some nice sounds. Okay, 5 o'clock and we got the exhaust stack on. Yes, you're a true Canadian or true North or whatever. Or you're the king of obsolete when you got an exhaust stack, because we have them on everything. That's also so you can see out the rear view mirror when you're backing up because of the exhaust fogs. That's the first thing we did today. 48 Chevy Sedan delivery was put the stack on. Yes. All right. And plus fix what's left of the exhaust. All right. As you can see, I splashed the paint everywhere. Doesn't that look good? Yeah, splash, splash. And there we go. Nice wrap clamps with a flex, so it even makes it better. All right, let's check the oils in the rear end, give it a grease at this end, and then oops, and then we can maybe let it down. Yes, and then we show the boss will be pleased because we did something. Okay, I'm under the 48 Chevy Sedan delivery. I didn't film crawling down here, laying down, because then the sounds would make it almost X-rated. All right, so we got this clamps on here, and way up there, I put another one because it looks a lot better. So yeah. Nice tight exhaust. It's all recycled steel, and here we are with the the rear end up in the air. I greased the shackles and I went and took the plug out of the rear end, and I couldn't reach the oil. And I'm sitting there, what the hell? And then I remembered. Can we see way down there? There's no drive shaft. It's not an open drive shaft. It's an enclosed tube. So everything, all the oil's in the tube instead of back in the rear end here. Yes. So we'll have to let it down, put it on the flat ground, and then check the oils then. But we spent a lot of money back in 2015 when we put this on the road, after Dad had it in storage. I think we last drove it in 1983 and stuff like that, and then it was in storage. So 2015 till now, and we're still driving it. All right, let's see if I can get up. Okay, 6 o'clock, we're done. We got it done. We worked an extra hour, so we got some overtime pay, which the government will take. But oh well, this is the thought that counts. We got it done, and it's freaking windy. Unreal. I feel like I've run 10 miles uphill both ways, yes. But the exhaust pipe looks good. It's nice and solid. There won't be any exhaust fog under the middle of the vehicle. And look at that hitch. Ooh, this almost looks like factory from 1948. Oh yes, we have the technology. We can splash the paint on to make it look better. All right, let's go walk the dogs and drink some beer and relax, plus make a video. Talk to you later.